Price of Bitcoin and crypto keeps crashing constantly for a month now. What's going on? What's costing this? Let's find out. What's going on, y'all? You're now watching the greatest channel that has ever existed. My name is Bitcoin Benito, and I truly appreciate you guys for being here with me. So the price of crypto has been stagnant / crashing for the past month now. And the main reason, well, for the past week, actually, the main reason is because of the Iran and Israel attack that's happening right now. Israel attacked Iran unprovoked, although it's not 100% unprovoked because Iran has a lot of proxy militant groups such as Hezbollah. And I know YouTube is going to put some comment at the bottom, some title screen at the bottom that says this is political or blah, blah, blah. But everything I'm saying is pretty much accurate. They pretty much attacked them unprovoked because they are having the ability to create nuclear bombs. They're at a threshold state. That's what they call it. When you have a lot of nuclear material, a lot of times the nuclear material is just used for power plants, used for civilian purposes, nothing negative. But they also do have the potentiality to turn those nuclear materials into nuclear bombs. And America and Israel doesn't want to have it, even though Israel itself is not allowed to have nuclear bombs, but they already have an estimated hundreds of nuclear bombs that they got illegally, and they acquired this technology illegally they stole it from America decades ago. So it's kind of hypocritical that they have these nuclear technology themselves, but they don't allow their neighbors to have this same technology. Now, nuclear bombs are not created to be used. They are created to be a deterrent. So it's kind of hypocritical now that they are killing military people, the troops, and they're also killing civilians in order to stop Iran from doing this. And now there's a back and forth artillery war going on between the two nations right now. And therefore, people are nervous, and therefore the price of risk on assets, and cryptocurrency is still considered a risk on asset, even though Bitcoin has improved over 1,000,000% in the past 10 years, right? Even though it's grown 1,000,000% in the past 10 years, no other asset has grown faster in the past 10 years than cryptocurrency. None. But it's still considered a risk on asset because people don't understand that crypto shoots up and then it shoots down every 4 years like clockwork. Nothing is ever going to change that. But it's okay. I'm here to educate. That's why I'm telling you this right now. That's why you need to get into cryptocurrency right now, because we are in the end of the 4-year cycle where the price of crypto, Bitcoin, the worst performing asset, Bitcoin probably, is only going to perform at 200 to 300% over the next 6 months. Okay. And you're still putting money in stocks and S&P 500. Very stupid. But it's okay. You live and you learn. All right. So let's go into details about that. But before I get into that, let me read some comments from my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. I would not be here without you. The first comment that we have. Hey, what's going on, guys? I just want to pause the video for 1 second to tell you about my new course, Crypto Confident, okay? Where I make about 300% every 90 days. Now, is this guaranteed to happen? I'm not necessarily a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but this is very, very likely to happen. And I'm going to show you the exact way to do this step by step. I have 5 hours worth of video where I go through the entire process. And you don't even have to watch the whole 5 hours, okay? But I quickly show you how you could make as much money as me. And I also show you how you can avoid scams like Sam Bankman-Fried. Look at the website right here. It's very elegant, very quick, very easy to understand. And I show you step by step how to not lose your money. I show you when to buy and exactly when to sell. Okay. And it's very, very easy throughout the entire process. You need to get into this as quickly as possible. It's 2025 now. You have a very limited amount of time to make all this money. So just go to bitcoinbenito.com right now, bitcoinbenito.com right now. Put in your email so you can get as rich as me. Okay. Let's get this money. Is from John XR7. Thank you for always commenting. He says, TitanX, let's fucking go. Let's go. TitanX is doing good. It hasn't been doing great, but it's been doing good enough. It's slowly started to rise. It's going to continue to rise. Invest into TitanX every other paycheck. Oh no, my face is gone. Next comment that we have is from Rick Wilson that says, the greatest channel that has ever existed. LOL, perfect thing to say. Thank you. I try to add some humor into my videos to make it not stale, not boring. Next comment that we have is from Space Jockey that says, to the moon. And this is with TitanX. I made a video about TitanX, why TitanX is the smartest investment to own right now. Yes, invest in it right now. It's only going to continue to grow. Invest in TitanX. Do not put it in the mine. Don't mine TitanX. Invest it. It's too late to mine it. You're not really going to get a lot of returns. It's better that you buy TitanX, hold it, and then sell it at the end of the year. The next comment that we have is from Goku 2015, I should say. It says, we take off next month, bro. I have $1,000 in Pulsechain. And then I told him, yes, keep investing. Yes, invest in Pulsechain. Invest in Pulsechain every third paycheck because it's growing, but it's growing lower than it's growing higher. At least in the near term, it's been doing that. So wait until it starts shooting back up, and then you can start investing more into Pulsechain. Next comment that we have is from All About Everything that says it's down 20%. This is with Pulsechain and Hex. Yes, it's true. Pulsechain and Hex is down about 20%. That's why I say you should invest every third paycheck. And then final comment that we have is from John XR again that says, let's fucking go. Did I say that 2 times? No, okay. Here's what I meant to say. We have a comment from Cleve Trev that says, LMFAO, scammers always selling courses. If you were doing so good, then you wouldn't need to sell anything, but you clearly invested in multiple scams. Here we go again with the scam. Yes, crypto is a scam. Bitcoin is a scam. An asset that has grown 1,000,000% in 10 years is a scam. The best performing asset that has ever happened in the past 10 years is a scam. Stop listening to people that tell you it's a scam. They don't know what they're talking about. The idea of crypto is that you buy it when it's low. It happens every 2 years. The last time it was at its low was 2 years ago, 2023. And then you sell it when it's high. And that's going to happen about 6 months from now in 2025. And it's going to do the same thing again. It's going to crash all the way down in 2027. And people are going to be like, see, I told you, crypto's crashed. It sucks. And then it's going to shoot up again in 2029. And people are going to cry, oh, I wish I knew. It goes up and down. So buy when it's low, down 2023 and all the way up until right now, right? You still buy some now. You still have time to buy right now. And then sell when it hits its peak at the end of 2025, okay? And then buy again at the end of 2026, beginning of 2027, okay? It's so simple, so straightforward. I've been saying the same thing over and over and over in all my videos because people are not listening. And even you're watching this, you're like, I might buy some, I might not buy some. Buy it. You have nothing to lose. What are you going to do? You're going to buy stocks and bonds? They're not going to perform as good as crypto. And I have evidence for this. I'm not guessing. This is not a guesstimation. This is facts. Anyways, let's move on to the story. So, Bitcoin and the broader crypto markets think as Israel launches its airstrikes against Iran. Oh, no. So, let me zoom this on you. Oh, I can't even show the whole thing. Let's look right here instead. It says, best crypto to buy now as Israel-Iran conflict worsens. Will the market crash? The answer is yes. The market will crash, but it's eventually going to go back up. Okay, so he says, fresh clashes between Israel and Iran have rattled global markets, dragging Bitcoin and other digital assets lower over the past 24 hours. For investors weighing shelter against sudden shocks, understanding crypto's evolving role has never been more crucial. In a landscape where deadlines can spark sharp sell-offs, timing is everything. That's why framing the best crypto to buy now demands more strategy and nerve. Too long didn't read, or I'm just going to tell you what to do. Do not sell your crypto. In fact, when the market crashes, which happens, now's the time to buy even more crypto, okay? Because the markets, the stock markets, any type of market, any type of assets market is very emotional based. So people are terrified because they think that gas prices are going to go higher. And they might. They think that, oh, World War III is going to happen. It's probably not going to happen. The elites are not going to allow World War III to happen. They're just going to allow these small wars to happen and proliferate, but they're not going to allow World War III to happen because if World War III happens, the elites will become poor and they will die. And the elites do not want to die. They want the regular people to die. They want the poor people to die, right? They themselves do not want to die because they need to be able to continue to make money, okay? So there's not going to be a World War III. Adding to market nerves, former President Donald Trump cut short his trip to the G7 summit in Canada. He cited the Middle East situation as his reason for leaving early. Okay. And this is with him saying Iran should have signed the deal. I told them to sign, even though he was the one that pulled out of the Iran non-proliferation of the nuclear bomb deal. So, it's kind of ironic, Donald Trump, but whatever. So let's scroll down a little bit. Despite the ongoing debate over Bitcoin's role in financial system, Renowned economist Peter Schiff believes cryptocurrency's volatility undermines its credibility as a long-term store of value. Now, Peter Schiff is a guy that's a lot of these people that say scam, 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 scam. He's a total gold bug, and he's been hating cryptocurrency for the past 10 years. So he would have made 1,000,000% more money instead of gold if he just got crypto. So you should probably maybe not listen to what he says. Let's go down some more. Bitcoin price analysis. Bitcoin's recent price action shows a clear shift from the strong uptrend into a period of consolidation between roughly $103,000 to $107,000. And today it's about $104,000. After climbing from around $104,000 in late May to a peak of $111,000 in early June on a notable high volume. Okay. So this is the way it's been looking since the end of May to now the middle of June. Scroll down some more. BTC USDC analysis. Bitcoin is rebounding from the support trend line of the ascending triangle pattern. And as you can see, Bitcoin is in an ascending pattern since the end of May. And this means that it's only going to increase in price from now. Yes, the price might go down a lot because of the war that's happening in Iran and Israel, but it's only going to continue to go up. Okay. So what are the best cryptos to buy? 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽. Now I'm going to do a video about 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽. This is the way the 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽 website looks, right? So 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽 as headlines spot safe haven. 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽's scalable DeFi toolkit reminds investors that innovation that thrives amid uncertainty, hinting at growth, and others retreat. So 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽. Okay, so here's 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽. 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽 is now doing its pre-sale. It's going to come out in 3 days. Although it's been saying that for a while, a couple of days ago it said it's going to come out a day from now, and then the day came and then it didn't come out. So they're trying to wait for the price to start shooting up before they're going to release 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽. So 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽 is a layer 2 on Solana, and it does stuff as improving its speed, improving its throughput, improving its security, all that good stuff. Is it really necessary? Not necessarily, because Solana already has a lot of security, although Solana has been hacked before, but the bugs have been fixed. Solana is already blazingly fast. Every single transaction that you do on Solana usually lasts 5 seconds or less. So it has a lot of throughput and has been shooting through the sky for a long time. So 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽 is really good. Go there and get your pre-sale coins, because they're probably going to do a 100x. In fact, I'm 100% sure they're going to do a 100x from now until the peak, the end of this year. The thing is, because we're going through a pre-sale, if you buy it at the pre-sale prices, you only have 3 days left. If you buy it at the pre-sale prices, it's probably going to do a 200x, 300x from its all-time low. So try to get as much 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽 as possible now in pre-sale, and you can use it. You can buy it with, let's see what you can buy it with. You can buy it with a lot of tokens. You can buy it with Tether. You can buy it with Ethereum. You can buy it with many different coins. You can even buy it with a credit card, okay? And you can also buy it with Solana. So get 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐽. Let's see some other coins that it talks about. Buy Hyper. Bitcoin Hyper. What's Bitcoin Hyper? When the market jitters cause blue chip to dip, Bitcoin Hyper amplifies the opportunity by providing leveraged exposure to Bitcoin's movements while maintaining its appeal as digital gold. Why would you get this instead of Bitcoin? Let's see. Built to tackle Bitcoin's long-standing scalability issue. So this is pretty much like a Litecoin version of Bitcoin. Bitcoin Hyper processes transactions off the meme chain. So it's a meme chain, helping to reduce fees and delays. The project uses Solana's virtual machine to accelerate transaction speeds while keeping assets secure and preserving token value. I don't see what this has to do exactly with Bitcoin. Anyways, Bitcoin's base network, limited to around 7 transactions per second, struggles under high demand. This often leads to slow confirmations, blah, blah, blah. Beyond its technical failures, Bitcoin Hyper is drawn attention for its growing community and meme coin appeal. So it's pretty much just a meme coin. Subbed is gaining attention for its focus on on-chain staking, appealing to yield seekers while positioning itself as a potential hedge in times of crisis, offering an alternative to traditional assets like gold. Okay. So yeah, get into those coins if you want to. Let's listen to some comments from from Altcoin Daily, where they talk about the catalyst, Bitcoin's next catalyst. Let's see if he has something important to say. Let's speed it up a little bit.
Bitcoin's next catalyst. Is it as simple as pension funds? I would say the last catalyst would have been the ETF in 2024, Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. Maybe we haven't seen the effects of that yet, but what is that next catalyst that may lead to a Bitcoin supply shock?
Yeah, I can jump again. People talk about the reserve and corporate treasuries, and those are absolutely right. The thing I think that's not talked about the most is financial advisors in the United States. We have over 300,000 financial advisors in the United States who meet with their clients every month, week, quarter, and they're talking about stocks, bonds, those kind of things, mutual funds. And most of those financial advisors are not allowed to recommend to talk about Bitcoin and those kind of products. And those dominoes.
That's so stupid. And this is why a lot of people are going to continue to stay poor, because they're not allowed to talk about these good assets themselves. And these advisors actually own cryptocurrency themselves because they're not stupid, and they know that it has grown 1,000,000% in the past 10 years. So it'll be stupid of them to not get into it. Don't be fooled.
Those are going to keep falling rapidly. And so you're going to have this army of financial advisors from traditional finance, I think soon, recommending Bitcoin ETFs to their own customers. And so we have this upcoming Bitcoin marketing team that I don't think people are talking about enough. And I'm excited for it to happen. It's a win for the industry. It's a win for those companies, but ultimately consumers who they've heard of Bitcoin, but they don't know what it's about. And when they're sitting across the table from someone they trust and know, and now that person's telling them about Bitcoin, I think that's going to make a huge difference.
Would you say 50% are still not able to recommend, or do we know those numbers?
It is way less. I think it's probably 10%. And some of these financial firms have 20,000 financial advisors, 15,000 financial advisors that they're not allowed to talk about it. And I think in 5 years, they all are.
I mean, if you could just even look at the top 5, they're not doing it right now, and that's well over half, the total space. I'd probably...
That's absolutely sad. I can't believe that. Let's look at another guy that's talking about crypto. Is history about to repeat itself?
In the second half of September 2021. And what's really interesting is, of course, back then there wasn't any crazy conflict. But what's really interesting, guys, is that at the end of each quarter, basically you'll see something called the stock buyback blackout window. Kind of a mouthful there. But basically, a lot of the price action in stocks is driven by companies buying back their own stock, and they're not allowed to do that basically because of regulations at the end of each quarter, because they're going into earnings season and they can't kind of be seen as pumping up their stocks before earnings come in, if that makes any sense. And of course, at the end of September was the end of Q3 back in 2021, and the result was that we saw pretty significant weakness in the markets, including in crypto. And if you actually look at the pattern here, just memorize this pattern for a second, because as you'll see, it's almost identical to what we're seeing right now, where at the beginning of the month you saw a nice rally, but then going into the middle and the second half of the month, as that blackout window came in, you saw crypto prices start to crash. They fell down.
Yeah, so the quarter is ending at the end of June. So that's why another reason why crypto prices are crashing right now. They're not allowed to buy back their own stocks to pump up the market. So to grow their own coffers, they sell their Bitcoin and then trade it for cash. And then they have security and they get to grow their own portfolio, I guess you would say. And a lot of companies are doing this. So it's kind of game theory. If other companies do it, then I'm going to do it myself too. And if the Bitcoin price crashes, I'd rather just sell it now so that my value doesn't crash as a company. And then I wait until the quarter starts again, until the third quarter starts, which starts at the beginning of July. And then I can buy crypto again. This is what happened in September, the end of the third quarter. And then they started buying again as soon as October hit. So as soon as July comes, we're going to see the prices shoot through the sky. So don't worry about it. Do not sell your Bitcoin and crypto. In fact, buy as much crypto as you can right now, because the prices are low right now and they're only going to shoot through the sky.
Down actually by almost 20% during that period, which is pretty crazy. And then they saw this bounce at the end of September, and then at the beginning of October, they just started rallying, and they basically rallied all the way up to the cycle top. Now, if we go all the way here to the current day, and by the way, we're on the daily chart, if we go down to the current day, we can see something very similar. Of course, we're now at the end of Q2, so similar idea. We're entering this stock buyback blackout window. And as you can see, at the beginning of the month here in June, same thing, we saw a nice little rally, but now we're entering the second half of the month, and we're starting to see prices roll over. And we actually even have a similar trend line, similar price action going on here, where you could see potentially the total crypto market cap drop here by, let's say, 5 or 10% in the next couple of days, see maybe a little bit of a bounce, and then fall even lower, just below 3 trillion, and then basically into the end of the month or at the beginning of July starts to recover. And again,
yeah, so it's going to start recovering in July, so don't worry about it. So there's also another thing where pro-Israel hackers destroyed $90 million in Iran crypto exchange breach analytics firm. So Israel is really good when it comes to warfare. They will empty out your money, empty out your coffers. They will shoot you with artillery shells. They'll shoot you with ballistic missiles. That's why Iran is losing this war right now. But this is a war of attrition. So Iran might do better. We'll see how it goes. It's almost like a football game. It's kind of really horrific, really. You think about it. It's a football game where people's heads are getting blown off. Yay, war. Yee. Anyways, hackers sent stolen funds to vanity addresses they likely can't access, effectively destroying it, to 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐩 wallet. The predatory Sparrow hacker group claimed responsibility and also said it breached Iran's state-owned bank 𝘕𝑃. elliptic has linked the exchange to sanctioned ransomware operatives and wallets tied to Hamas. Okay, so Iran lost millions of dollars in crypto. So anyways, so what this means is that you need to buy crypto right now because the prices of crypto is going down right now due to hacks like this, due to warfare in general, due to official companies, hedge funds selling their cryptocurrency at the end of the quarter. This is the end of the quarter that we're going through right now. And you should need to buy as much crypto as possible. And I'm telling you this because I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's get this money.